Hey guys, DIY Maniac here. So we have another video. In this video I'm going to be showing how to change the battery on a Hyundai Santa Fe with the V6. This particular model is a 2012, but it's pretty much applicable to any Santa Fe of this generation, the CM generation. And really, I mean, battery change is applicable to most cars. Of course, socket sizes and exact procedure will vary from car to car. So the first step I'm doing is I want to keep a charge on the battery. Why? I don't want to lose all my radio presets and my Bluetooth settings. So I'm just hooking in through the cigarette lighter a battery maintainer that supplies 12 volts. And that way when I disconnect the battery, the system will still have 12 volts and I won't lose any of my presets. So that'll be good. Now, how did I know the battery needs to be changed? Did I go out to start it and it won't start and I can't even get it started? No. It was an intermittent problem, whereas I would go to start the car, it would stall, or it would just crank and fail to start. So I did a load test on the battery, and sure enough, under cranking, the voltage was only at 9.5 volts. It wasn't getting the 12 volts. And I was able to pinpoint it to actually one of the anti-theft systems. I guess the sensor or switch for the anti-theft wasn't getting the voltage it needed to allow the car to start. So, and when doing a load test on the battery, the voltage and the cold cranking amps were well out of spec, so the battery needs to be changed. The battery is over 4 years old, going on 5 years old in a few months, and that is really pushing the lifespan of a battery. In our kind of climates, they actually say we should be changing them every 3 years. I think that's a little too crazy. Usually 5 years for me is a good window. I'll change them regardless if I'm having problems or not. At that 5-year mark, I swap them out because I'd much rather change it a little bit earlier than I had to than to be stuck somewhere without a battery and my car starting. So I'm going to pause the video and set up the camera so we're in a better position so we could go through the process of unhooking and reinstalling the new battery. Okay, so we're back at it. Sorry about that. I'm in the midst of redoing all my tool arrangement and I'm having trouble finding all my screwdrivers. So the first thing we need to remove is the air duct that goes to the filter housing. So to do that, you have those 3 push clips. With these ones, it's a Phillips screw that you loosen, and that takes the pressure off the clip. And then what we could do is slide our clip removal tool underneath, and that's going to allow us to remove the clip from there. So as you can see, they come right out. Once you loosen it enough, you can just pull on the screw head and it comes off. This is really, you have to take it off because it goes right over the battery. Maybe it's possible to get the battery out without removing this, but I don't think so, and why are we going to break our heads over it? So now with that out of the way, we can lift up on the snorkel and slide it off of the filter housing and it comes right off. And this now gives us room for to access the battery. Now, as far as battery that I went with, I decided for the first time to try the Costco battery. Here in Canada, one of the bigger battery suppliers is Canadian Tire with the Motomaster batteries. I've had good things to say about them. I haven't had issues. I know a lot of people like to talk crap about them, about Motomaster batteries, but I usually buy the eliminators and I never have an issue. However, in this particular case with this vehicle, they didn't have the eliminator battery. They just had the standard Mastercraft, or as we like to call it locally, Master Crap battery. So I didn't want to go that direction. I didn't want to go Walmart either. Not saying there's anything wrong with Walmart, but I didn't want to go that direction. So I decided to go with Costco. I hear so many good things about them. I figured, hey, you know, let's give it a try and see what happens. Okay, so now we need to remove the terminals. So you always want to start with the ground. That way your battery's disconnected. Yeah, of course, like usual, I took the wrong socket size, so it's going to be a 10mm. So you're going to take your 10mm socket, you're going to put it on, and you're going to loosen your terminal. Loosen the terminal like that, and then we're going to do the same thing for the positive side. Break it free. go in the car. Left the keys in the car. Okay, so now that our terminals are removed, we need to remove the main hold down. And by looking at it, I'm saying that's a 13 millimeter. Let's see if I guessed that one right. So take a 13 millimeter. Oh, I'm going to need a longer extension. So it's always good to have good variety of extensions. So we then take our 13 millimeter and we're going to remove that hold down. And that's going to free up the battery and allow us to slide it out. So that bolt is removed. We remove the clamp that's down below. That's the battery retainer. Put those aside. And now our battery will lift straight out. It's heavy, so you're going to want to get a good grip on it. Get your hand underneath it. And you're going to pick it straight up and out. It has a nice little insulating cover that goes around it. And we're going to be popping the new battery in. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pause the video here, and we're going to come right back as I'm putting the battery back in. So we're back at it. So we're going to take our new battery. We're going to take our little battery cover, insulating cover, put it over the battery. We're going to drop the battery in the same orientation that we took it out. So negative on the right if you're facing the car like I am. So we want to make sure those terminals are out of the way. So when we drop the battery in, don't get hung up. So you can tuck them out of the way. And then we're going to drop the new battery in. And you want to make sure you don't squish your fingers. And the new battery pops in as such. And then what we're going to do is we're going to put the hold down clamp back into place. We're then going to put our terminals back on, tighten them up, hand tight. You don't want to over tighten them. You could strip them out. And then you're good to go. Put your snorkel back, and that's pretty much it, guys. So I mean, that's the down and dirty battery change on a Santa Fe CM generation. So it's 2010, 2008 to 2012, 2007, 2012 with the V6. But pretty much applicable to most cars. It's pretty universal. Just a couple of nuances are different with certain cars. The bolt sizes, maybe with the hold down location. You probably won't have a snorkel on most cars that you would have to remove. That's pretty much it. So I hope you enjoyed the video. If you have any questions or comments, leave them down below like usual. And keep looking out for new videos. Thanks a lot, guys. Until next time.